Hey, I'm Devon, and we are back with more XCOM 2. We are doing, hopefully, our last guerrilla op of the game. So we've got a couple of different options here. You know what? I like doing... Let's do this robotic one. You know what achievement I have never got? I have never taken control of a sectopod. So, let's see if we can do that just for funsies. We are trying to neutralize a field commander. We've got a lot of Mechs, Codex, Spectres, Sectopods here. So we'll go ahead and swing over to New India.
Commander, we can now employ an experimental technique to restore any soldier to perfect physical and mental health for a single combat mission.
Alright, so... right now, I really don't want to tire anyone out. At least not anyone we're going to want to bring on any of the final missions. So anyone who is a little low on will, I'd rather not bring on this mission. Fortunately, it looks like most people are in pretty good fighting condition. Crypto is the only person we've seen who isn't at max will. And... I'm pretty much fine if she gets tired. That said, who has a higher hacking score for our Sectopod achievement? 88 plus 40. And 80. So, Lebedev is 8 higher. So, gonna go ahead and have him be our specialist for this mission. And can really bring along whoever else we want. Definitely will want our Reaper for the end game. I like letting Diamond and Lockdown rest up a bit, because they were both... well, where are they at? Are they still tired from last mission? Would be nice to have Fanfire if we fail... okay, yeah, no, she's still pretty low will. Let's bring our other sniper. So that'll be Huntsman. So yeah, this looks like a pretty solid group of folk. So you'll be getting our Nano Med Kit and the Skulljack for the hacking. And you will be getting the Wraith suit we never use, the Skywatch, the Shadowkeeper, and the blue screen rounds. Pretty good with your loadout. We should have one possible concern here is we could be a little short on shred. Templar is actually not great for this set of enemies, necessarily. It's probably better to just bring a Ranger. So that means you're going to go ahead and get the Disruptor Rifle. And... we do actually need you in medium armor, so you can get, so you can carry the Skulljack and the Medkit. You can go ahead and get the full loadout, though, of Rage Armor, Arashi, Katana, Shred Storm Cannon, Talon Rounds. And we can replace your weapon with a powered weapon, the Plasma Blaster, which we haven't used yet. So is this a full loadout we want? Yeah, this will be pretty good. We've got Fanfire for the Sectopod, Face Off for dealing with large groups of Codexes and Spectres, Frost Bombs and Mimic Beacons for when things go wrong, Medkit, Skulljacks for hacking, and a ton of damage in Mustang. So this looks like very good squad for this guerrilla op.
Commander deployed.
In position to drop.
Right, we are neutralizing a field commander, which is one of the ones that can potentially go wrong.
Officer will be moving through this area as part of a routine patrol. We have an opportunity here to completely disrupt Advent's...
And it's theoretically plausible the Chosen could show up, but I'd be a little surprised if he did a second mission in a row.
Menace 1-5, we're tracking the Advent General and his escorts, but we don't have an exact fix on their location. Sweep the area and eliminate the target along with any other hostiles that stand in your way.
We've confirmed our previous readings, Commander. Be on alert for robotic enemies moving near that position.
Alright, so... we could either just push into the center of the map, or sweep along this side here. I really hate fighting across this chasm, so let's go ahead and just start moving people up early. We don't have a time limit until we expose ourselves. So in a perfect world, I would rather pop our cover on the Sectopod pod. We've got an elite Lancer. That's fun. So you're, I guess, just a little out of range of being able to lance these guys? Okay. So... getting you on high ground is nice.
Closing on target position now.
Further up we can get you, the better.
Moving to designated position.
Yeah, he does not have Julia's mobility upgrade. We do have one of those in the bank, so we could give him one at some point, but he's still a little bit new blood.
Moving on target location.
Oh, we have a Resistance Fighter and the Advent, so we're just rolling into this one 8 deep. That's kind of fun.
Affirmative. Covering now. Eyes on the prize. Roger. I've got my eyes on it covered.
We have so many people.
Overwatch.
But you know what? We've got time, and this isn't the pod we would most like to blow our cover on. So I'm actually fine just kind of walking on by these guys. We'll keep some overwatches up, just in case things end up going wrong.
On my way.
But I'm kind of fine just to let these guys walk on by.
Getting it done.
We don't use this Wraith suit often enough. We should remember to keep that in mind as a strategic option. We do also want to make sure that we don't
Moving out.
end up with the first person they see being flanked. So we can put the robot here just to avoid that as a possibility.
Roger that.
Advent Trooper.
Affirmative. Covering now. Eyes on the prize.
On Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Alright, so these guys continuing to wander on. We haven't heard the Sectopod yet. So we can just kind of keep pushing around this edge of the map to try and, if in a perfect world, fighting the general first wouldn't be terrible. I mean, it does pull every pod on the map when you fight him, so that can be a little risky, I guess.
Heading there now.
I'm also, it said Advent General rather than Advent Field Commander, and I don't know, if that means he might actually be a scarier boss than what we're used to from previous versions of this mission. Also, just as a note again, we have so many people. We've just got this whole squad of misfits. I love it.
Scanning. Moving to Overwatch. Affirmative. Covering them on it.
Overwatch.
Alright, so we can kind of sweep this corner and get a peek into this room at the same time.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Alright, so no sign of anything yet. This room can be a little trying just because we want to make sure not to have an enemy discover us while we're flanked.
Confirmed.
Is there... This map is not a great map for snipers in general.
Okay.
I mean, at least our sniper is spec'd as a gunslinger, so we don't actually rely that much on his squad sight, but...
Moving out. Scanning. Moving to Overwatch.
Affirmative. Covering now.
Overwatch.
And good news, we don't have a Templar on the team.
Eyes on the prize.
You should be aware there is movement nearby.
That looks more like the same two robots. So I don't know why we ended up scouting with our Grenadier. That's pretty random, but whatever.
Affirmative. Moving out.
We are getting pretty good coverage on the map. Like, we've scouted out this whole side pretty thoroughly. So we have a reasonable sense of where enemies are.
Rolling.
This map seems a little more prone to error than some. On one playthrough where I was trying this on my ill-fated Legend run, I lost this mission without ever getting sight of the general. Like, I was just caught up fighting other pods, trying to get over to where the escape area was, but he just managed to get away.
Movement. It's close.
Alright, so we want to push forward a little, but not too much, because we're starting to get a little scattered out here.
Understood. Moving out.
Wow, still no sign of enemies. Alright, so we can run you all the way up to here to start regrouping a little bit. I think I like kind of trying to sweep over this high ground. Oh, maybe just get on... Yeah, get onto here, check over this side, put a sniper up on this high ground overlooking this whole area. Sounds like a good plan. Man, Elite Lancer, you can run a really long ways. I guess we already knew that about Elite Lancers from getting stabbed by them, but this is nice to see on our side.
Confirmed.
Just keep overwatching a little bit while we rotate around.
Eyes on the prize.
Roger. Got my eyes on.
Shut up. Listen.
Alright. Take a look around the corner. Nothing? Alright, Sniper, where are you? I'd like you to go here.
Moving on target.
Grapple.
Grappling.
No way this could get us in trouble. Alright, and... take a peek over this way. Okay, so nothing in this corner here, so let's start rotating to take the high ground on that little section.
Target location.
So... pull everyone up.
Heading to that location.
This has been a pretty slow mission.
Moving out.
I've only seen 2 enemies on this 10-enemy map, and no sign of the general yet.
Copy that. Got it covered. Moving to Overwatch.
I feel like the tunnels can promote that sort of game, though.
Quiet. Did you hear something?
Alright, so... let's put you up here first. Appraise the situation. We see these same 2 guys. So there's... man, not that much of the map we haven't seen. I guess they must be over in this corner. Alright. And then pull our psychic up to here.
On target.
Put our sniper on the corner. And I really don't want to start a fight with so little ability to find the commander. Also, having not seen or heard the sectopod yet is making me nervous.
Okay. I'm on the move.
Is he flanked or is this cover? This is not cover.
On my way. Moving to Overwatch. I'm on it.
Eyes on the prize.
Alright, so still got these 2 heavy mechs wandering around. Looks like we're going to have to fight them. Yeah, I think our best bet is going to be fight these guys and then push through here. I don't think we just keep delaying forever. So... opening up with a plasma grenade seems pretty good to me. It's not our most valuable shred, but it will shred both. We can even keep our ranger in cover for this fight. Or in concealment for this fight.
We're in their sights.
Alright, so no movement there. I got just solid chance to kill this guy with nothing there.
How many of you have I killed?
And then, Sniper, do you just want to... 14 to 16, yeah, seems reasonable. Overwatch removed.
How many is that now?
Alright.
Heading out.
Still no sign of the general? Or the sectopod? I mean, I don't really want to push any farther forward this turn, probably. Man, I mean, we're going to run out of time eventually here. So let's say we run this Advent Trooper up here and we see a sectopod. What happens? We try and hack it. We probably fail. We don't really have much shred, and we can't use and our ranger is too far away. That sounds like a good reason to stay put for a turn. Oh, we did have a hair trigger there.
Affirmative, covering now.
Got it covered. We're picking up an inbound Advent transport.
Alright, so we saw a pod there. We've got 5 turns on the transport.
Don't let him get on board that ship. Heading out.
Oh, that's bad.
Got some admin here.
That's not that bad.
On the objective.
Our team's a little far away, but it's, we found the guy we're looking for,
Before they can escape, we won't get
and we can
another
probably one-shot him. So we do think there's another pod right here. Alright, so if we run here, we probably activate another pod. We are 1,000,000 miles away from our friends. That said, I don't really want to risk them getting away. Can the Psychic get in range to do psychic-y things? Probably.
No problem, boss.
Oh, we do have a blaster bomb. That's a thing. Okay, so we could probably kill that trooper. We can do something interesting there. Yeah, I think I like trying to kill this guy without exposing more territory if we can. Because we've got, like, Shredstorm cannons. Just spend some weirdo resources like Shredstorm cannons and plasma lances and plasma blasters and stuff, trying to
Father really outdid himself, didn't he?
do this without activating another pod, which could theoretically have a sectopod in it. So didn't quite get in range for the plasma blaster. We can bombard for 8 to 9. So if we don't have you run and gun, we can Shredstorm cannon. Capacitor discharge doesn't quite look like we can get in range. We can blaster bomb both these guys. Seems like a good place to start. Might even blow up cover, probably shreds armor on both. I mean, I guess it could activate a sectopod, which would be bad. Alright. So you... Okay, you can't see either of them. You could pretty easily get to a point where you could see both of them. You could not get to where you can see them, but you could frost bomb one of them, maybe? Oh, you can run and gun. That sounds like a fun thing to do.
Set him up, knock him down. On it.
That solves a lot of our ability. That gives us a lot of ability to keep things from going wrong. Yeah, because we can frost bomb the commander to keep him from running away. So if we go for the 56 here, we do just have a chance of insta-killing him. I think we really might need that Shredstorm cannon. You can also run and gun, but you don't need to run and gun. You can just walk up and shoot them both. Shoot one with a pistol.
Tired of waiting around.
We're leaving ourselves pretty far out of cover here, but... So let's go ahead and throw down a lightning hands on this guy, just for speculative. That's nice.
Only winged him.
And then face off. There are codexes here. We should save the face off. Alright, but I think that means we have a deterministic kill with Bombard Shredstorm Cannon. So Shredstorm Cannon could theoretically, has a reasonable chance to one-shot him. So let's do that first. Cool.
Menace 1-5, kill confirmed. That's how it's done. We need to clear the area of any remaining hostiles. We can't allow them to recover the general's body.
Alright, so then we're going to have every enemy in the sector sprinting at us full speed, including a sectopod. So we would like to just set up as much Overwatch as we can with no risk of activating anything. I say as I activate something? No, good. Let's just run the stun lancer over here. Whole Advent Trooper logo. Alright, so Overwatch.
There's a more difficult task available.
Overwatch. No action. Overwatch. Run all the way over here. End turn. End turn. Codexes and a Spectre. So lightning reflexes, but subsequent Overwatch could theoretically hit.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
2 Codexes and a Spectre. This is about the perfect team to face off. We do want to be very careful about any movement this turn, just because anything we do could potentially... Nice.
There you go.
Anything we do could potentially trigger more enemies. Only a graze. Nice. Less nice. Oof. That's ugly. Okay.
Got some advent here.
So yeah, this is all the enemies on the map. So I have a quick question for you. How many could you see at once? I guess we don't have vision on this, on the sectopod right now, so we can't see where it can see. We do have the possibility that we want to save our Mimic Beacon this turn. We can use this fellow to soak up an Overwatch shot. Which is cruel, but I think necessary right now. That seems fine. See, it even missed. This is very humane. A little confusing. I mean, I get it. They split into clones and stuff. It's weird. Alright, so you do have a rapid fire. So... what all problems do we have? We have a 12 health codex. We have a 4 health codex. We have a 4 health codex. We have 2 of these guys, and we have a sectopod. We have a frost bomb. We have a mimic beacon. We are a little low on shred. We do have overdrive, which we could use to kill at least. Let's see. So if we go, let's say here, that gets us vision. We can overdrive, plasma lance, and fire. That sounds like a nice use of our time.
Should I double check that for you?
Alright, so we got 2 actions. Get to throw a plasma lance. Can we... we cannot hit all 3, unfortunately. And it's definitely most about hitting the sectopod. And it doesn't look like we can hit the sectopod and the mech. No. Alright. So step 1. I've never used that weapon before. Oh, it doesn't shred any armor. I thought it shredded armor. And it didn't hit the codex. Alright, well, all kinds of things I'm not super happy about. Alright, this actually feels like a good time to try and hack the sectopod. I feel like we're at a point where we can kill it if we need to. And we should first look into trying to gain control of it for the achievement. But we don't have vision of it, I guess. Is it... I guess you do need it? Okay, that's making me like this whole plan less of trying to go for the achievement. Like, it's fun to joke about, but realistically I don't want to take any risks on my campaign regarding it. Alright. So, you can see all 4 of them from here. So you can actually run and gun, run up here, face off, do some things. We do want one more shred on the sectopod. For sure. But it looks like we might not actually be able to get in range of it. Does anyone else have any shred? You do not have shredder. You have capacitor discharge, which would deal a really solid amount of damage here. I think I can kill it through 2 armor. Alright, so let's run and gun. And then this has vision of at least 4.
No need to ask twice.
Don't have lightning hands up, so just get our face off.
Looks like this might be it. Who's keeping score?
Alright. And then throw down... So we've still got... If we deal with all 3 of these, which we're getting very close to, we've still got Oh, we killed this one, I guess, somehow. I guess you got in line of sight of it? So then we've still got that one to worry about. I don't suppose you can run and gun over to shooting her. Doesn't look like it. So we can capacitor discharge, and that should deal with both of these. So I'll need to run up a little bit.
It's worth it.
Capacitor discharge. These two friends.
Full charge.
Okay, didn't quite finish off the sectopod. So we're looking at potentially letting something take a turn on us. So we might end up throwing out the mimic beacon. So what do we have left? Oh, you can deal with something. Let's see. So if you deal with the robot, Ranger deals with the sectopod.
Finally.
Wonder if there's any way we can get the Ranger to deal with that codex.
Who's keeping score? I'm running low on
Alright.
ammo.
So you're guaranteed to deal with the sectopod if we want. But we need someone to deal with that codex. I don't suppose you can sort it. No. And if we can't deal with it, we just throw out a mimic beacon in front of it, I guess. No Lance is pretty likely to kill it. Okay. We bring this trooper up. Oh, he can't shoot anything from there. Okay. So... yeah, you're just going to be on sectopod duty, aren't you? Wow, it is weird how the places you can't see this from.
On your order.
So, a little bit of ridiculous overkill for one health enemy. Dealing casual 14 to it.
On the move.
Alright, and then, as much as I would like to be fancy,
I'm going.
only one enemy on the map. That's a mimic beacon.
Scanning.
Yep. Alright. So, anyone want to run up and grab that loot before we kill the codex? Not those untrustworthy sorts. Alright, yeah. How about you, Wraith over here and get us some loot?
Confirmed.
We do get this anyways when we end the mission. I just like running over to pick it up. Delirium core, data cache.
This looks like the stuff.
Alright. Let's go ahead and try a... let's just one-shot her with the Ranger. Save ourselves any risk of cleanup duty on multiple codexes. Can't actually get to a flank.
Stepping off.
83 with 53 crit. This seems fine. That'll do her. 17 damage.
X-ray neutralized. We have confirmation.
Alright, so that one actually did go flawlessly. Looked a little bad when we got that sectopod activation. I would have liked a build where I got to at least try to hack it, but think we made the right call, not taking any risks there.
May our thoughts be with the Advent citizens we lost. May they truly be at...
The Advent citizens we lost. Hey, one of them was on our side. He survived. Great, no one tired from that. Oh, you guys are getting along. Are you not quite able to bond, but okay, so this is actually better than the normal data caches. That's cool.
Considering the limited resources available to you, Commander.
All right, so we are 3 days left before the end of the game. Hopefully. Assorted loot. Sure. I'm in for assorted loot.
It won't be easy,
We'll watch this one.
but I think it's the only option we have at this point.
Agreed. We must inform the commander immediately.
Go right ahead.
Commander, Central, the Shadow Chamber has completed its analysis of the Avatar's DNA. It has identified the genetic sequence necessary to travel through the Psionic Gate.
Perfect. We can finally shut this Avatar project down for good.
However, the gate requires more than a mere transmission of genetic data.
The sequence has to be part of a live subject. The key only works in lockstep with the signal.
We don't have time to find another one of those things, let alone capture it.
No. That part we can handle. We make our own.
You're serious?
Quite. Though the specimen before us is damaged beyond repair, it has provided us with its complete genetic blueprint. We already possess an unaltered Avatar template from the Forge facility. That combined with the genetic
I
material...
really like the plot of this game. Like both the storyline and also how they pieced it together over the course of the game. Like it's a little bit rough the way the game structure makes it kind of incentivizes the correct play is just go through all the story at the end. But I really like the way they like tease out the alien project and the way you kind of gather all the pieces of the black site file and the codex data that all comes together for this final confrontation. I think it's a really good execution of a video game plot.
Exactly. And definitely not me.
Interfacing directly with their network would cause severe, if not fatal, trauma to an unprepared central nervous system. As it stands, we only know of one individual who has survived that kind of ordeal.
That was different. The stasis suit.
Created the perfect interface to the network, one tailored to your specific biology, Commander. Of any human candidate, you are the most likely to survive the connection.
Most likely is not good enough, Doctor.
It is the only answer I can give you, and our only option to traverse the alien portal.
We need to come up with a game plan before we charge through the enemy's front door, which will give you some time to think about this, Commander.
This specimen, this being is something else entirely, something beyond anything we have ever seen. And yet somehow, our troops once again prevailed.
Alright, no shadow projects available.
Priority message for the commander coming through on a secure channel, sir.
On screen.
Sir, it's coming from the Advent network tower.
You heard me. He's taking a big risk contacting us like this.
Hello, Commander.
This is such a good scene.
Be commended. Your efforts in rebuilding the Resistance network and uncovering the truth about the Avatar project have been admirable. I only wish I had better news to report.
When does he ever?
Advent is not taking the death of an elder lightly, and in turn have greatly accelerated the final stages of their Avatar project. A plan is now in place for the rapid processing of all non-essential human life. to begin immediately. Very soon, Advent's speaker will announce a breakthrough in gene therapy. A final treatment for the human condition. Billions will flock to gene therapy clinics across the globe. They will never return. I have managed to secure tactical data and access codes to the Advent Network Tower. The speaker's address will be broadcast live to a global audience via this facility. The whole of Advent's network will be listening. It is this hubris that we must use against them. The information I am sending you should allow Dr. Tygan and Chief Engineer Shen to take control of the transmission and disrupt their entire network from within. Though my hope is that this disruption will confuse the enemy's forces long enough to allow your final assault a chance of success, I ask one more thing of you. Take what you have learned. Let the world know what is happening here. Wake them up. Broadcast the truth. Before there is no one left to listen. It seems we are both out of time. Farewell, Commander.
So good.
New objective added.
Commander, I've updated our current objectives based on the most recent findings.
Yes, Commander.
I'll
Despite
leave
the
anyways.
unexpected outcome of our tests on the alien psionic gate.
We have the target site locked in, Commander.
Alright, so I assume we've just got enough intel to pick up all of these.
Control the
Cool.
network tower. We can finally show the world what the aliens are doing. There's no turning back after this.
Alright, so we are at the end of the game. There are only 2 missions left. There is this infiltration, small group infiltration mission against the Advent Network Tower, and then there is the gigantic final mission against the Avatar Stronghold. So, glad we made it this far, but going to call it a night. I will be doing one last XCOM 2 stream to finish this campaign off, and super excited about that. Thanks to everyone for watching, and we are going to call it a night.